Welcome back to the Sonder Cast, where every ordinary life hides an extraordinary story.
And we are your hosts. I'm Adam.
And I'm Kayla. Today's episode is about something we've all experienced at some point in life, getting lost. Whether it's in a foreign city, your own neighborhood, or even emotionally, getting lost can be scary, frustrating, or sometimes kind of magical.
Oh yeah, I've got a story that includes a broken GPS, heavy rain, and a goat farm. I wish I was kidding.
I can't wait for that. Mine involves Paris, a language barrier, and a very, very patient old man.
This is going to be fun. Let's dive in.
So picture this. It was 2019 springtime, and I was visiting Paris for the very first time. I'd always dreamed of seeing the Eiffel Tower, walking along the Seine. But on day 2, I decided to explore Montmartre alone, the artsy, hilly neighborhood where the Sacré-Cœur is.
Ooh, that's already sounding risky. Narrow streets, too many cafes, too many smells of croissants. Easy to get distracted.
Exactly. I wandered for a couple of hours and I had zero signal. My phone just died on me and suddenly I realized I had no clue how to get back to my hostel.
Oh no, did you speak French at the time?
Barely. I could say bonjour and un baguette s'il vous plaît. That was the extent of it. So I tried asking people for help. I walked up to this elderly man who was feeding birds in a small park, and with my limited vocabulary, I said something like Je suis perdu? And he smiled so gently and said, Ah, vous eats perdu? And then he closed his book, stood up, and motioned for me to follow him.
Wait, so you followed a random old man in a city where you didn't speak the language?
I know it sounds sketchy, but I trusted him. There was something calm and kind about him. He walked with me for like 15 minutes, pointing at buildings, giving small explanations in French I didn't understand, but I nodded anyway. Eventually, we reached this big red door and he said in English with a heavy accent, You sleep here, yes? It was my hostel.
No way. That's incredible. It's like something out of a movie.
I almost cried. I thanked him over and over, and he just smiled, tipped his hat, and walked away like he was a magical Parisian guardian angel.
Did you ever see him again?
Nope. Never. But I'll never forget him. Taught me that sometimes getting lost can connect you to the kindness of strangers.
Okay, my story is a lot less elegant than yours. This was in 2016, and I was on a road trip through rural Oregon with my friend Jason. We had this brilliant idea to take a scenic detour. Off the beaten path.
That never ends well.
You'd think we'd learn. So we're driving down this bumpy, muddy road, GPS still working, until suddenly signal lost. The map freezes, and we're surrounded by nothing but trees, fields, and what looked like abandoned barns.
Classic horror movie setup.
Exactly. We drove around for an hour trying to get back to the main road, but everything looked the same. And then it started raining, hard. Like windshield wiper can't keep up kind of rain. That's when we saw the sign, Goat Sanctuary, Visitors Welcome.
You're kidding.
Nope. We pulled in, hoping for directions or at least shelter. This woman in rain boots and a poncho came out, holding a baby goat like it was a puppy. She was the friendliest person ever. She invited us into this cozy wooden cabin, made us tea, let us dry our clothes by a wood stove.
Wait, this is starting to sound amazing.
It was surreal. Her name was Mary Ann, and she lived there alone, taking care of rescued goats. We ended up staying the night because the roads were too muddy to drive on safely. The goats were like little dogs. One of them even curled up next to me while I slept.
That's bizarrely wholesome. Like a random side quest in life.
It really was. The next morning, Marion gave us hand-drawn directions to the highway and a jar of homemade goat cheese.
That is peak Oregon right there.
Yep, I got lost, soaked, mildly terrified, and came out with goat cheese and a story I'll be telling forever.
I think what both of our stories show is that getting lost isn't always a bad thing.
Right? Sometimes it's the unexpected detours that give you the best stories or the best cheese.
Or the kindest people. And it makes you realize the world isn't as scary as we often think it is.
Exactly. Also, pro tip, always carry a portable charger. And maybe learn how to say help in 3 different languages.
That's true. And maybe don't follow strangers unless they're charming old men or women holding baby goats.
Well, that's it for today's episode of the Sonder Cast. If you've ever gotten lost and ended up with a crazy or beautiful memory, we'd love to hear about it.
Send us a voice note or message on Instagram at the Sonder Cast. Who knows, we might feature your story in a future episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, share the podcast, and leave us a review if you liked what you heard.
Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and don't be afraid to get a little lost. If you are a content creator, here's a free music for your video.